Hi Jerusha, it's Karen Dick here. Of course, we have never actually met, which seems so weird because I do feel like I know you, but my husband Andrew, of course, is your cousin, and yeah, we've never been out your way, and you've never been in Ontario, and we've happened to be there, and so our paths have never actually crossed in person, but I've just loved following along with you on Facebook and just seeing the things you're up to. I love all your positive lists of how your week has gone and just focusing on the good things amongst, I'm sure, many hard things. And I'm really loving all your insights and tips in regards to autism. I have a close friend who has a son recently diagnosed with autism, and so I've passed along a lot of your ideas to her. Hope you have just an awesome birthday, turning 40. I know you're going to bless so many more people as your life continues, and you've blessed me with your blogs, with your posts, yeah, just all of it. I really do hope we meet sometime soon. Have an awesome birthday.
Hello from Switzerland. It's your cousin speaking. So, apparently you've joined now the happy club of 40s. Welcome to the club and happy birthday. We've got to share favorite memories we had with you. I couldn't resume just in one. All my childhood is basically having fun with Jerusha. Can you remember all these nights where we stayed up when we were not allowed to? And we were just laughing and laughing and laughing. I think your laugh is something that definitely sums it up. What else? All the time we spent at the cottage. I mean, those memories, it feels like it's just yesterday, even if we are so old now. But those were joyful memories I will never forget. Coming to your wedding too was something just amazing. Meeting your children and my children. I find it so awesome that we can stay in touch, even if I live so far. And to sum it up, before I give the word to somebody else, my favorite memory of you, I think you remember, one of Janice's girls walked through my screen door yesterday night. Have fun, all the best, I love you, bye!
Happy 40th birthday, Jerusha! I hope you're having a wonderful time with your family and friends. I just pray that God will bless you and prosper you in the year to come. And I just pray that you would have lots of new adventures and you would make lots of new memories. I hope the rest of your day is amazing and that you have a great birthday. Bye for now.
Happy 40th birthday, Jerusha. I wish I was there, but in lieu of being there, I thought I would reflect on some of our happiest memories, I think, together. Of course, there was when I was 16 and spent a summer practically living at your house when we became friends. And I have so many good memories of having so many like, what, you too moments when we realized that we were basically soul sisters. But then when I got back from England and we became even closer, I just have so many happy memories of sitting on your couch just laughing so hard. And I used to always leave your house with a wet lap because I would always have a cup of tea in my hand and I would go to take a sip and then we would get laughing and I would inevitably spill hot tea on my lap just about every time. And one of my favorite memories of this was when I think it was New Year's Eve and the infamous jelly beans. We got out those terrible jelly beans that I'm actually still recovering from the trauma of the skunk one. However, I laughed so hard that night that my stomach hurt. And these are some of my favorite memories. And I love that even now, literal decades later, we can still make each other laugh like crazy over Snapchat and we can still connect throughout the day. And little did I know back in those years that all the things that we were laughing about and all those hours upon hours upon hours that I spent on your couch and with your family were preparing me for the life that I was also going to live. And you have been such an inspiration to me in terms of parenting, in terms of marriage, and in terms of just living a godly life and living a life that really serves other people, and a life that really strives to take struggles and take not so great things and just flip them around and use them for God's glory. And when I think about the kind of woman, the kind of mother that I want to be, I often think of you. I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic birthday. Once again, I wish I was there, but know that from afar, I love you. I'm thinking of you. I cherish you. And I'm just so, so thankful for our friendship.
Hey, happy birthday! 40's a big deal.
She's 41, so she knows.
Well, I hope you have a great day. We miss you. We should be coming out soon. I think Leon keeps talking about whenever he gets holidays, we might go back out east. I know, it'll be fun. But we miss you, we love you, and I hope you have a great day.
I wanted to put Holly in this, but she said no.
Sorry.
Happy birthday, Jerusha. Sending you love from the Philippines. You have always been so, so sweet and so kind to me, and I've really enjoyed all the time we've spent together. And yeah, I just want to wish you a very happy birthday and the warmest of birthday wishes.
Hey, happy birthday! The big one. You beat me to it by a little bit. Just wanted to wish you a super happy birthday. Wish I could be there celebrating with you, but we're distanced as usual. I just want to say I have a lot of good memories about, growing up and getting to know you from the very earliest of days. I've probably known you about 40 years. We were just, coexisting, toddling around in our backyards in Toronto, from getting to know each other and hanging out and probably annoying each other and teasing each other a lot as little kids. And then those Carey Conference days, great memories for me, meaningful friendship that we built during those times, and then staying in touch over the internet in the early days of social media. And, I remember being so proud of you when you went off to university and pursued writing, and even more happy for you when you built a family, a godly family, found love and a home out there. And I love coming across when you write something that I get to read, and I guess your humble and simple approach to life and steadfast faith is super inspiring. And I just want to say that in that way I've definitely valued our friendship over the years, even though our paths don't cross that much. But just truly am inspired by your faith and the way that you've relied on God to overcome trials. So I have nothing but the best wishes for you and your family. Once again, wish that we could have a little cheers or something for your big birthday, but and mine's coming up next August, so I'm catching up on you soon. See all that gray there? But Jerusha, just happy birthday to you. You deserve a great day, a great year, and nothing but God's blessings to come to you and your family. So love you, Jerusha.
Happy birthday, my beautiful friend. I'm so sad that we live so far apart and that we can't celebrate your birthday together in person. So I just wanted to tell you how much I love you and appreciate your friendship, and just wanted to send you lots of birthday love. Love you.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Go.
Happy birthday, Rusha. I hope you have a fun birthday party. Love you so much.
Started and stopped this video about 1,000,000 times because I literally can't figure out how to put into words how much you mean to me. So I will just say I don't like a whole lot of people, but I really, really love you. Your 40s are going to be the best years yet. I love you.
Barushka.
happy birthday. I hope you're having a really great day and everyone is spoiling you and you're getting lots of fun videos from friends and family. I just want to let you know that I think of our good old memories all the time from Trinity Baptist Reformed Church. I think that's what it was called when we went there. Anyway, have a great day. I love you. I think of you all the time and I hope that you're doing well.
Happy birthday, Jerusha. We've known each other probably 30 years now. I have memories of sleepovers at your place in Newmarket with Heather in that room with that piano and being kind of wild. Surprise, surprise. The three of us at Carrie conferences singing Gangster's Paradise on the swings. I hold precious to me a visit to you in New Brunswick that day in Fredericton. That was a precious day to me. You love fiercely and you're so full of joy. And yeah, I love you, girl. Happy birthday.
Hi, Jerusha. Happy birthday from Newmarket. I hope you have a lovable, sunny, beautiful day on your birthday. This place misses you and so do I. I hope you have a wonderful year and may God bless you.
Hello, Jerusha. This is your Aunt Suzanne speaking. I hear you're celebrating a birthday soon, a milestone birthday. Well, congratulations and happy birthday. I was going to say that contrary to most people, I can say that I've known you all your life. That's not entirely true. I've known of you all your life, but I haven't really known you all your life. We first met in 1983 on our trip to Canada in the summer. You weren't quite 1 year old then. I'll let you figure out exactly how old you may have been since I know how much you love math. We would meet occasionally over the years, usually once every 3 years, unless there were some special occasions like weddings or golden anniversaries. At first we'd see each other at someone's home, but later on, whenever we met, it was around water. It was usually at the cottage, but sometimes at Point Peely's, and even at Nick and Helga Peters' pool. However, I can't remember seeing you since Jessica's wedding. I guess the difference that separates us is responsible for that. And I'm truly sorry for that. I would love to meet an adult Jerusha again. I've put together a series of pictures I have of you over the years. In all the pictures, one thing stands out. You're smiling. Your happiness is shining through. You're a spontaneous and sincere young woman. Life is not always easy, but that doesn't seem to faze you. Know that I love you and wish you the very, very best. Suzanne.
Hey Jerusha, happy 40th birthday. I can't believe you're celebrating 40. Then again, I'll be celebrating 40 next year too, and that just blows my mind. I can't believe it's been almost half our lives ago that we were together in Woodstock. Like, where does the time go? I can't figure it out. Even worse now that I'm a mom of 2.5-year-olds. Like, it seems like they were born yesterday. And I'm guessing you're thinking the same thing of your teens. Anyway, back to your birthday. I hope you have the most fabulous day with your friends and family, and that you have the best 40th year and so many more wonderful birthdays to come. I guess everyone's sending you messages from different points in your life, and I am your blast from your past in Woodstock. And I don't think I ever told you this, but during my first year in Woodstock, I felt a little bit like an outsider, I guess, a little bit left out, and everyone, I guess, was a little bit older. I didn't have someone roughly around my age to hang out with when I was in Woodstock. Sorry about that, my video cut off. Anyway, as I was saying, so year 1 Woodstock, not so great. Year 2 was so much better because I had you. I had so much fun that year, and I'm so thankful for our friendship and the fun times we had. And we came up with some silly names such as J-Man. I don't know if you remember that. And we coined you Cuckoo Jeru. And I'm not exactly sure why, but anyway, whenever I think of you nowadays, the first thing that comes to my mind is Cuckoo Jeru. We may have come up with a name for me too, but I can't remember exactly what that is. You'll have to write me and refresh my memory in case you remember. Anyway, I just want to say that I'm so thankful for the friendship that we formed back then, and I'm still thankful for it today. I don't know what I would have done without you during that second year at Woodstock. It would have been awfully lonely and nowhere near as entertaining and incredibly boring. So, thanks for everything. Have the most wonderful day ever. I love you. See you.
My favorite memory of Aunt Jerusha is when we went to New Brunswick, and I have two favorite memories. We went to a cottage, and there was a gigantic moose head. I kept on thinking it was gonna fall down on me. Then my other favorite memory is when we went to New Brunswick, and then we went to the arcade, and also we went to the arcade multiple times, and also I got a dog with woof woof.
Okay. Pauline, what's your favorite memory of Aunt Jerusha?
My favorite movie is when we go to the cottage and then we do makeup on our turtles' faces.
It was nice, wasn't it? And I have a ton of favorite memories.
Ton.
When you were being a teenager and Raymond and I brought you a broom and told you to clean up your act. And then when we were very little, or I was very little, I used to crawl into bed with you. You'd be like, Jerusha, will you let me sleep with you? And you'd be like, ugh, fine. And you would let me sleep with you. And then when you were in university, and I was just like 13 or something, and you had a fancy new apartment, and I came over and we played some sort of like Bible game, and you took me to church, and we went to St. Sidham before we went to church, and we just hung out and had a great time, and it was a really special time. And I felt so big to be included with all your cool stuff. And then all the times I took down the bus down to visit you and hang out with you and your little babies. And it was such nice memories of hanging out with you guys. They were great times. So I hope you have a really happy birthday. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, and Matt is here.
And a picture.
He has lots of memories, but he is not here at the moment. So he's going to put together this video for you.
He's not dead. This is not
Alright, my man Cornflake got the spirit. He a little confused, but he got the spirit.
Well, Jerusha, this is the first picture I have of you. It's also a very young picture of me. That's our very first few hours. So, Jerusha, having been born, I had to take you home. And I took you home in this little outfit. It's a little velour outfit that you wore coming home from the hospital. It was had a little hoodie, and you fit it better than Gladys, the doll that Aunt Gladys had made, because Aunt Gladys actually gave me this outfit. And so I had a little outfit to bring you home in, and a pink and white blanket to wrap you up in from Susan. And as soon as you were born, Aunt Noreen, whom you're named after, whipped down to see you. Okay, now, having been born on November 2nd, I had to buy you a car seat. And I was pretty ticked about that because I didn't want to have two car seats. But indeed, I had to bring you home in one of the first car seats, because if you'd been born on October 31st, you wouldn't have needed a car seat. So it was a beginning of expenses for a new baby girl. As Jerusha, I remember dressing you up for Halloween one year, and I had dressed you up as a little Raggedy Ann, and you didn't have a clue what was going on. You just sat there. You clued in later on in life. I remember, Jerusha, for your first birthday, you were given these presents, and you you didn't know what to do with them. You just kind of sat there with all these presents around you and everybody kind of staring at you, and you just like what is it about? It was quite cute. Yes, Jerusha, when you were about 2.5, the Cabbage Patch dolls were really in vogue at the time, and we promised you a Cabbage Patch doll if you would stop using diapers, and so we bought you this doll, and you immediately got it out of this little box. And the legs, because they were Cabbage Patch dolls, free-flowing, ran over to the neighbor and said, "Look at this, he's kicking me, he's kicking me." Yeah, it was very cute. Of course, that night, you got up in the middle of the night, which is not your way of dealing with the potty training. But you got up on the toilet to let the doll know that he could stay because you knew how to use a potty. Okay, now here's the real stuff. Yeah, I said to you, don't step on the street, Jerusha. You're not to go on the street, it's dangerous. So you ran right up the street and you put your toe right on the edge, just to know you were defying me. And yes, at that time we could raise you by hand and you felt the paddle. This is Aaron, your brother, babysitting you. You look at that smug look on his face. He's got it all taken care of. He's got you tied in. This was our first vacation with you at Georgian Bay. We spent more time running after you because you could do an army crawl right to the water, and we were afraid you'd drown. This was your first birthday with the neighborhood kids. The boy right behind you is Robbie, and you spent a lot of time going, "Robbie, Robbie, Robbie, Robbie." He was your first crush. While you were never good at mathematics, you were good at cash. I remember in Newmarket, you couldn't do 3 times 6. But when you pulled off the cupboard door, you could say 18. So money mathematics was really important. This is a picture the day that Grandpa came to see you. He drove across Toronto to come and see you. And then he drove back across Toronto to tell Grandma that he visited you. And she didn't get to see you. He loved you so much. You were the apple of his eye, and he was the apple of yours. This was your bedroom. It did not work out very well. It made you very noisy. There you are, in that lovely blue snowsuit of Aaron's. You're sliding down the hill in a toboggan, all by yourself. This is the last picture we have of you being Grandpa's girl. A couple of weeks later, Grandpa would be dead, and we would be at his funeral. And you were so very sad. At the funeral home, you went into the bathroom and asked for some water, and you said even the water from the taps in the funeral home was dead. You were so sad. When you went to school actually for the first time, it wasn't until Christmas time that you had any color in your Santa Claus, because someone else's grandmother had died and you realized God didn't have a bullseye on your back. Everybody had a bullseye on their back. Now here you are at the cottage, playing in the water, where you and Aaron used to love to play. Of course, we usually went to the hospital, and one of these times, Aaron had thrown some dirt at you and you shoved him down. Anyway, he ended up going to the hospital, have his head stitched up. But such is life. Here are all 4 of you down at the picnic table at the cottage, having a lunch there. Now here is a trip we took out west. There you are, Jerusha, giving your huge smile, happy because right now you had just been given something to play with in the car. Jessica had a big book to look at. Raymond was asleep, and Aaron finally got a Game Boy. Here you are, Aaron and Jerusha standing there in front of a hoodoo out there in the Badlands looking for dinosaur bones. You didn't find any because it was just too hot. Even the dinosaurs had retired for the day. Well, Jerusha, I'm sorry I didn't take any pictures of all the lectures I had to give you, trying to get you to behave. You know, lecture 101, 102, 75, 135, 300,000, you know, they were cherished lectures. I know the one time that you had At a lecture, Melissa commented that you'd missed an entire baseball game during one of the lectures. I don't think you missed that too much. Okay, this is from Grandma Gilbert. She gave you, for one of your birthdays, a pair of denim pants, and they were covered in all sorts of flowers. And you looked and said, "Oh, Grandma, this is exactly what I want." Then you walked into the kitchen behind two louver doors and said, "How could you buy me such ugly pants? I can't believe she bought me these ugly pants." Of course, Grandma was in the other room listening to you. Now, sometimes there are places where you have to make the best of a bad occasion. So one time my sister was there, and you had parked your tricycle behind her car, and she backed right over it and crushed it. And she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Jerusha, I wrecked your bicycle." And you said, "It's okay, Aunt Noreen, I'm not going to use that tricycle anymore," which of course you couldn't. As any normal child, you were going to run away from home. And of course, we'd help you pack your bag. You couldn't go to the end of the street and cross the street, so we felt fairly confident. One day you said, "I'm going to run away." I said, "Where are you going?" You said, "I'm going to Grandma's house." And then you went, maybe not. Because Grandma had the same rules I did. Okay, so we gave you a unique name, Jerusha. Such a lovely name. But what did you want to do in high school? You wanted to be called Catalina. I did not name my daughter after a dressing. Well, as a child, you used to get very angry and frustrated. And so once you learned to write, I said to you, go and write it out. Put your words on a piece of paper, and then you'll be done with it. And of course, I'd go into your room, find, "I hate Mom," and stabbing on the paper. But you did learn how to write, and you wrote very well. So in high school, you wrote a lot of teenage angsty poetry. Now, one of the other situations where you'd say to me, "I hate you, Mom. Can you drive me to the mall?" Of course, the mall was not a place I wanted you going. And I had warned you not to go, and especially when you went with George, I wasn't very happy about that. And then you told me that you and George and a bunch of other kids shrieked so loud and made so much noise you won a car. I wasn't too impressed with that either, sorry. On your 16th birthday, we were living in New Brunswick in the church basement, and you had invited some girls over who you had just gotten to know. And you were trying to make friends in school, in this new school you're at. But you had decided by the next morning that these were not the girls you wanted. And I was very proud of you because you had shown some great wisdom and discernment that these were not the friends that you would want to be friends, because bad company corrupts good morals. When you started working, you decided to send Dad and I out for dinner one time. We couldn't afford anything at the time, and you had saved some money from your job, and you sent us to a very nice restaurant in New Brunswick, in St. John, and we were both very touched by that, for your kindness and your caring, and we love you. I remember when Aiden was born, and the two of you had just brought him home. And I thought to myself, since I was down there, that I would go visit someone else that night. Let you two of you have that lovely bonding of the first night home together. Well, I came back the next day or a couple of days later, and you said, "Where have you been? We're all desperate. We need to get some sleep." Yep, it was great. And yes, Jerusha, I was always delighted to take your phone calls. Especially the one when you called me shrieking that the sewer was backing up into your basement in the parsonage, and we were living in Ottawa. Wasn't quite sure what you thought I could do to help with that one, but it was exciting. And then there were the bats in the apartment, and anyway, it's been really a delight, and I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Bye.
I can remember when Jerusha was born. We were living in Thornhill, just north of Toronto. We brought Jerusha home, and she had a lovely bassinet. in a green bedroom, and she was very pleasant there. Just a little while later, we decided to swap Aaron and Jerusha's bedroom, and Jerusha moved into an orange room. Well, she sparked right up and was all of a sudden very noisy, and her love of color was obvious at a very young age. Jerusha wanted a Cabbage Patch doll. We got a knockoff Cabbage Patch doll, but she could tell it wasn't the real thing. So we promised her that when she was potty trained, we would get her a real Cabbage Patch doll. So the day came, she was potty trained, we went and looked, and she picked one that she liked, and I couldn't believe that she picked an Irish Catholic doll, Bernard Mick. So we brought Bernard Mick home, and she took him out of the package, and she held him, and she screamed with delight, "He's kicking me!" And that was her first Cabbage Patch doll. Jerusha was 5 years old when the love of her life, her Grandpa Gilbert, passed away. And we went to the funeral home. Aaron thought that his grandfather had got a rather poor mansion, thinking that that was his mansion in glory. And Jerusha went around smelling the flowers, and she said even the flowers smelled dead. In grade 3, we decided to send Jerusha to a private school called Donnell. And she went there, and math was her biggest challenge. Well, she discovered that there was not going to be any more recess until she got her math work done, and so she had to work very hard to get it done. And she knuckled down and she did it. And we're really grateful that she did. One of the things that Donnell liked to do was to put on a play. And I can remember the first year that Jerusha was at Donnell, they did a play. I can't even remember what it was about, but I remember that one of the songs they were singing was Chapel of Love. And Jerusha would belt out the lyrics to Chapel of Love so that the whole street could hear. When Jerusha was in her early teens, she couldn't figure out why anybody would bother to learn how to multiply fractions. So she was going to go to a birthday party, I think it was. And I said, I'll take you to the birthday party, but before you go, I want you to make an apple crisp. And I want you to make 3 halves of the recipe so that she could figure out the purpose of being able to multiply fractions. When Jerusha was about 15 years old, we attended Mitchell Square Baptist Church for about a year and a half. And they had a very large youth group. But Jerusha found a very special friend there, Lisa Johnson. And the two of them were the spark plugs of the youth group. After the service on Sunday evenings, they would often go over to Pastor Power's place, and they would just be giggling and laughing and having a lot of fun. It was always a good memory. When we moved to New Brunswick, Jerusha was in the car with me, and we were having a lot of fun, singing along, and at one point, Jerusha mentioned to me that she thought she might want to become a doctor. And so she decided she was going to have to take biology and chemistry when she went to St. John High School. Well, I didn't know about the being a doctor part. Didn't think that she might want to do that after a while. But I wasn't going to argue with her because I was trying to figure out how I'd convince her to take biology and chemistry to keep her options open. And hopefully that helped her when she had to take psychology in university. In her 3rd year of university, Jerusha had to go to New Brunswick Community College in Woodstock. And she rented an apartment there with a friend of hers. And she had quite a few adventures in that apartment. Shortly after she had rented it, we brought her back up when it was time to move in. And she had stocked the fridge with all kinds of food before we went back to Quispam. But when we got back to the apartment, in the meantime, they'd turn off the power because somebody new was moving in. And of course, all the food in the fridge rotted, and it really stank. It took us a while to clean everything up. Later on, there was an incident in that same apartment when a bat got into it, and Jerusha called us frantically asking what should she do to get rid of a bat, as if we could help her very much from Quispam Sis, which was about an hour and a half away. But we told her to visit her neighbor, who she thought was strange, and sure enough, the neighbor came and helped get rid of the bat, and I think they got along a lot better after that. One of my favorite memories of Jerusha, obviously, is her wedding day, and we're very pleased to be there and to be involved in the wedding. But I was really touched by the fact that Jerusha and Steve sang to each other. Most people are really nervous on their wedding day, and I was so surprised that they were able to sing so well one to another. Never stop being a father. I know that my wife always gets calls from Jerusha at different times, and I tended to get the financial calls. But the other element of my relationship with Jerusha is that I get frequent emails about questions about the Bible, and I really enjoy answering them. Sometimes I can't answer them right away, but it is fun to write the answers to these questions and send them back to her. Hopefully they help her as well.
Hello, Jerusha. Happy birthday. As your youngest sibling, I have the least number of memories of you. But because there's two of me, they count for twice as much. So I only need to do a half the amount as the other siblings. I'm still probably going to fail in terms of memories. So, some of my earlier memories of you are rather fuzzy with age. I remember one time helping you with your math homework, but don't know how I did that then. Probably couldn't do that math homework now. Probably had something to do with all the songs Dad was singing to us about dx, dy, dy, dt. But either way, that was one of the things I could do. I also have memories of Jessica stealing your gum at Christmas time. No one will watch you stole the gum, it wasn't very good. But we all had gum in our stockings. She could have stolen mine, I probably wouldn't have noticed. Blah. I also recall the time Mom and Dad were mad at you with walking to the mall, not understanding where the mall was or how you'd even get there, especially considering it seemed so far away on my tiny little stubby legs. But, you know, when we moved to New Brunswick, my memories get clearer and clearer, and I recall us all, you, Jessica, and I, getting together in the rooms in the basement of the church and singing with our hairbrush microphones, or mostly you guys singing the hairbrush microphones and me trying to be involved because I was bored, had nothing better to do. I also recall the time when we first moved to our house and we were all picking at rooms, and you, Jessica, got the nice bright ones upstairs, you with the nicest one in the corner, and I know it's the nicest room in the corner because I had it later. But me going down to my dark dungeon, I like that dark dungeon. I also remember all the driving to and from your various living places in Fredericton, and that really weird one at Woodstock where the fridge died and it smelled awful. Or the year before that when you had that apartment in the basement of that one house and you're wondering how you're going to get food to and from the grocery store, and I very helpfully suggested that you find a kind of rickety one and break it and then say, oh no, this one's broken. We'll take it and repair it. It'll be fine. And then coming home during the summers and watching some movies together, like The Emperor's New Groove, or the one time where I recited the entirety of The Emperor's New Groove to you and Jessica. Couldn't do that now either. And then we left and moved to Ontario, far, far away, and the visits became even more infrequent. And the one time where we all gathered together again to do one fabulous trip out west, you spent the entire time complaining about missing Steve. I very, very distinctly recall you always moaning about that. In fact, I think everybody remembers you moaning about that. And then I remember your wedding, being the youngest groomsman in the party. In fact, being the only one who wasn't allowed to go to any of the stuff that happened tonight because I was underage. Not that it really mattered to me. Got to sleep in the nice house that we had in New Brunswick one last time. And then you had kids, and I would go up to your house with Mom and Dad and Jessica. We'd all celebrate Christmas and things together, and I learned very quickly that if I held on to the baby and pretended I was very good with them, I could get out of all the work while you and Mom would slave in the kitchen. And then I remember the one time we all went to the cottage together. Well, not all of us, myself, you, your kids, Jessica with Eve, who was just born, and we'd all play out in that pool area together and had a very good time. And then we got even older and I started going places of my own. Like the one time I came up and visited you, the first time anyways, and we would watch, you know, kind of dumb horror shark movies, and that was fun. And then we followed it up the next time by watching even stupider shark movies and drinking the, you know, fake alcoholic beverages. That was even more fun because the movies were even more absurd. But overall, even though I have less memories of you than I would say of Jessica or Aaron, because I shared a room with Aaron, he wasn't very good at sharing, you know, spent a lot more time with Jessica, I still always will remember you very fondly as the loving older sister that's always been there for me. And I wish you a happy birthday and many more to come.